ARK on next generation consoles. It looks pretty damn good. With the arrival of the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, there's no question that ARK has had a graphical uplift due to the processing power of the next generation consoles, with a variety of improvements that Wildcard implemented into a patch, at least for Xbox. PS5 is still awaiting it, and I covered this all on a video before, but the big question is how much faster is ARK on the next generation consoles? How big of an advantage can ARK give you against the previous generation consoles when it comes to things such as loading times and rendering in certain structures or bases? You're right kids, it's Raasclark, and I'm in the fortunate position of owning a PS5 and took the liberty of recording a few set pieces on PS4 and the same on PS5 to give you a rundown on what to expect if you upgrade to the next generation consoles. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, drop me a sub, share around, and let's get into it. And here we go, PS4 Pro versus PS5 on the loading screen. How long is it going to take? Note, I've done this in high quality settings with HDR output on. And we know loading takes a good while, just searching the servers alone. But we can already see a noticeable difference between the two and how much quicker ahead we really are. What's interesting to see is the actual loading screen. The quality is very different, with some pixelating going on the PS4 Pro that I didn't even notice was that bad until I compared it to the PS5. Oh, and it's vastly ahead. But how much quicker is it really? And there we go, we're in. Just going to download the character, see how much time that adds. And boom, there we go. In fact, I'm going to repeat it again, just to see if it's doable twice in the same time frame as the PS4 Pro. And it's quite possible. And there we go, we're in the map on the PS4 Pro. And wow, I didn't realise how long that white light actually lasts for. Damn, and there you go, over a minute longer, almost double the time it takes on the PS5. Okay, now let's try a bit of TPing, a bit of teleporting. And there's a variable difference there, a couple of seconds, but it makes all the difference in a PvP scenario. Okay, let's try a boss teleporting animation. In this case, it's Raasclark. And we can already see a visible difference on just the background quality of the arena that we're going to TP to. And there's a loading animation, and we're in. And there's not much in it. It's very marginal, but it could mean life or death. Okay, on to loading into the aberration area on Valguero. And there's already a big difference between the two. Obviously, I haven't had this perfectly matched, with me actually going slower on the PS5, but you can see I'm well ahead. And we're done. 21 seconds against 26 seconds. Yeah, it's only a 5-second difference, but again, big difference in PvP. Okay, let's try out a biome teleportation on Genesis. Going from the snow biome to the lunar being the most frame heavy demanding biome there is. And it's this part that freezes for such a long time. Is it going to be different on the PS5? Totally. Wow, by quite a bit. Okay. That's a decent length of time, again, in those PvP scenarios. Okay, I've dashed the timer this time. We're not requiring the timer for this. This is all about rendering in structures and seeing how bad it actually is, or better it is. Now, these few behemoth gates don't really matter too much. They're not offering much. So let's try out a big, huge base. In this case, it's the infamous Center North Snow. And obviously you can see some huge graphical differences, but we want to see how much actually renders in. Now what's interesting so far is what's being rendered in, what's popping in is not too different. However, you might notice the closer we go into all of the structures. Look at the frame performance now on the PS4 Pro versus the PS5. PS5 we're flying through, no issues. PS4 we are struggling, my god. So again, in those scenarios, it's going to make a big difference. You're not going to be stuck awaiting your fate, getting shot by turrets. But of course the PS5 Pro isn't perfect. You can still randomly disconnect. It happens. But I think we've showcased enough to prove there is a big difference out there, with some serious frame improvements that are only going to get better if you drop that high quality setting. Is it worth it for a PvP advantage? I definitely think so. What do you think? Drop a comment, let me know below. Thanks all for watching. My name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And as always, peace out.